Stanford University, a bastion of academia and the alma mater of some of college football's most legendary figures, Elway, Luck, Sherman, and McCaffrey. And today, the Stanford Cardinal will try to live up to that legacy. A top 25 showdown coming up. Two of college football's premier teams preparing to duke it out right here on this field. As we'll see, the number 13 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Stanford Cardinal. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Stanford ready to kick it away to start this game. Fielded in the end zone. It's Bryant. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. You think the fans are ready for this one? The booth's shaking underneath us, guys. Going up top on first down. Gets it out quickly. At the 40, there he goes. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. We talk a lot about Michigan building its offense around the running game, but they've always had an effective quarterback who can make plays down the field.
And I think some people hear effective, Reese, and take that as an insult, right? Like, I don't want to hear about my quarterback being effective. I want him
just destroying his way through the field. A huge pickup on the play before he goes out of bounds, but the question is, will it stand? There is a penalty marker on the field. This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41. One of the offshoots of expansion, particularly in the Big Ten, was how viable could the ACC remain, and it just sort of ramps up the stakes when they meet on the field.
Yeah, I think all of this conference realignment, all the money talk, the loss of rivalries, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And let's be honest, the SEC and the Big Ten are the big two gorillas, right? Anytime you can make a statement and dent these two big powerhouse conferences, go do it.
I think the ACC, too, is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Back in conference realignment, it was the best four programs from the Pac-12 that all chose the Big Ten and not the ACC, so this one will be interesting.
He's got his man. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback could throw him the ball.
Yeah, and those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big game.
Now the crowd responding in the red zone, trying to help this defense. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed into the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understanding what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
This offense trying to quieten the crowd on first and goal, and they are not cooperating. They'll try to blast their way in. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the football, making the tackle for a loss.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Wolverines. They're on the board first here in the season opener.
and they just keep feeding it to their workhorse back to open this game. Great job in the open field. He's got tremendous vision. He can make people miss. You saw all of that on display here in the opening drive.
The kickoff team on the field, and he ought to just boom this thing through the end zone with that extra 15 yards on the penalty. This will not be returnable as it sails out of the back of the end zone. On first down, here comes this offense. Leaves it with the running back. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
Just feeds the running back. Not a lot of daylight. He gets 1 to the 32. Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. Well, that was less than choreographed. Everybody going on their own snap count there. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Third down conversions, always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. It's caught. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Stanford going back to work with another first down. The running back has it. Still running at the 40. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
Well, there's the offense trying to take advantage of this running back speed. I like the call. Hand off to the left, to the outside. Put him in space and let him go to work.
This Stanford offense is humming. Set up with another first down. Let's go. He's looking to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. And this sophomore quarterback just put it out there a little too far. Well, the timing on that throw and on the route was just convoluted and messed up from the beginning.
And you see quarterbacks and wide receivers in the offseason always working on timing and always working on throwing on air. But when you put a defense in front of them, now things start to speed up a little bit. A lot of times you'll see these little mistakes and where it looks like just they're not on the same page all the time.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
Looking left. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Hoping to pick up the first. Here comes Stanford on 4th down. Takes a snap, wants to throw. And it's incomplete, a missed opportunity.
That is just a play you've got to be able to come up with. They don't get bigger than that. 4th down, you've got to make the catch. Whether it's a perfect throw or whether it's off of your body, you're good enough and you're athletic enough to haul that play, and you've got to make the play for your quarterback and your offense to keep that drive alive, and he's not able to come up with it.
Quarterback keeps it.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs, so it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going, but moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
And they can't make the connection.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
QBs and receivers on third down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
And the returner will be brought down. Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on fourth down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
They'll leave it with him. Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. When those guys, those running backs come in, they just need a mid. They put one mid on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He's going to take off. Nice run there. Picks up a few, and they'll force him out of bounds.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
On fourth down, trying to keep the drive alive with the run. They knock him down, but he gets enough to give Stanford a first down.
Michigan 7, Stanford 0.
On the set. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Here we go. Might as well give it to him again. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Power football with the run. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on 3rd and short from the 49. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. Picked off. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
I know the passing game sells and the passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground, but it will be very successful.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Takes the easy one to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they're able to get the ball to the back in the flat there, but how about the tackle by the linebacker out in space? That guy's not easy to bring down one-on-one, but he did an outstanding job.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. He finds his man. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. And on that 3rd and short, I don't think he was unhappy to see that zone.
Nope, it was a great job by the offense. Hey, see where the holes in the zone are? Sit down. You only need a little bit of yards on this 3rd down. Get the conversion. Move the sticks.
He's off to the races. Almost took it all the way, but a huge gain, and he has him set up 1st and goal.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Let's it fly. And that one is picked up in the end zone. He's on the past the 20. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Cardinal! This time it's the defense finding ways to put points on the board.
There is nothing better than being a defender. Seeing that ball in the end zone, your eyes get big as saucers. Go, jump on that puppy, secure it, get you a touchdown.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Running back searching for a hole.
What a nice run there. And from the beginning of time, Michigan football has been synonymous with running the football. You can think back to Tyrone Wheatley, Anthony Thomas, Chris Perry, Hassan Haskins, big physical runners that also had sprinter speed and that could change the game. This dude right here, every time he has the football, he has the ability to go the distance, and that's what makes this Michigan offense so dangerous.
The Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he gets the carry. At the 40, there he goes! That gives him 54 yards rushing in this first half, and he is making quite the impression in the opener.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on 1st down. And you want to create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, or just get 1st downs like that run right there.
Found that crease, and they knock him down after a pickup of 5 to the 32.
Just a simple power play, power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a 4th quarter game. Make them feel you. Keep them off balance.
Caught close to the marker. It's Asher. And they bring him down, but did you see this freshman rifle that thing in there?
Man, it's so important when you play QB. I got to know when to put some air on it, and I got to know when to rocket that thing in there. Work in the middle of the field. He knew he needed the rocket. Threw it in there. Great job, great catch.
Well, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
They'll run it on the counter. They make the stop, but you can't give up 4 yards a chunk on the ground down in this area of the field. It's at the 18. 3rd down, and this crowd will blow out a vocal cord to help this defense. On the option. Now the pitch. And that one will go in reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option.
Now, if you want to bring all your tight ends in the game, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in more linebackers, more defensive linemen, get ready for the run, less speed on the field, especially when you get down here in the red zone. I feel like I can match up man-to-man with those tight ends in the back end. Nice job understanding a run was coming.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Oklahoma State is ahead early in Stillwater, but that's not exactly Barry Sanders or Thurman Thomas out there. This game is a long way from over. They're up by 10 over the Royals. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected, fellas.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Of 2. Brings up 2nd down.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. He's looking to throw. Makes his connection. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup up and moving the sticks for a first down.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running, second down coming. He's looking to throw. Quarterback now breaking the field. He'll let it go down the right side. And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
That big play has them in business. First and 10 inside the 20. The give to the back. And he'll pick up one. It brings up second and 9. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Didn't get much on first down. It's second and 9. He's looking to throw. It's complete to the right. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Stanford!
And that is exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution of the drive by that offense.
So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Inside 10 seconds to go, and the half clock reads 9. It is first and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Got him downfield. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Looking to go up top on first down. Makes the grab. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. And the Wolverines will line up to kick off and start the second half. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. Sweet feet on the move.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a second and 2. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. They stop him cold, maybe gets a yard to the 34.
They're strong and they're strong. defensive tackles, they're strong. They're such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
On fourth down, flexing that muscle in the run game. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
That's a gutsy call. And I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
Most offensive schemes are predicated on first down productivity. That will not go down as a productive first down play.
No, it will not, Reese. Give this defensive line credit because they were able to get penetration right off the snap and force a negative play.
Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34. And guys, they really need to take advantage of this field position on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the middle. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. They'll play it safe and try for 3. Looks as if this will be a 51-yard attempt. Field goal is good.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50-plus, and he did it with ease.
Oh, he's going to take a chance. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. Both of these defenses a little bent, but not breaking in clutch situations, David.
It's always exciting when you can go for it on fourth down and you know your defense will make a stand. They held them to a field goal, Jesse. It's a pretty good job by that defense.
It is. So if I'm this coaching staff, don't deviate from the game plan here. Go back to doing what you want to do and get established in this game.
They'll rely on running behind the big left tackle here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, that guy is so quick coming out of his stance. Did you see how fast he got to the ball carrier to get that tackle for loss? Wow.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. Third and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. Stanford lines up to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. Puts him in the spin cycle. He's going to get loose. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. You want to talk about having a weapon to bail out a drive? David, that's why kickers are so important after that long field goal.
And listen, important is a relative term. We need to make longer passes and get better gains so we don't have to kick long field goals, Palmer, again on offense.
And they've got the weapons to do that, David. They just got to be able to dial those plays up. Guys have to be able to make them one-on-one to make life easier on this kicker who is so important to this team.
And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost. Trying to pound their way in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, what a great job by the defense. You got to understand, it's physical time, right? They want to run the football when they start getting inside the 5. Nice job getting penetration, getting the tackle for the loss.
Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? He's looking to throw. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be third down.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
So loud it's rattling your fillings on third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Touchdown, Michigan! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. So much for the touchback. Here he comes. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
He just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Okay. Offense gets set for second down. They run the reverse. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
You know, as an offense, oftentimes you try the reverse play because you're trying to take advantage of a defense over pursuing and by a lot of defensive team speed. Didn't work right there. Great discipline by this defense.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Didn't get much on the return, but what a huge play, and they are in business at the 24.
Well, the defense was expecting pass on that one. 3rd and long. They dial up the perfect coverage, and a great job in the back end, reading and reacting to the quarterback when the ball was in the air, coming away with a massive interception.
Got some room, headed to the goal line, and he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Wolverines. The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
Stanford, 14.
He's going to try his luck from the end zone. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Again, at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
Now on 2nd down after the incompletion. The give to the tailback. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33. Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions. Really need to cash in on this drive. Looking for his man. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Stanford lines up to punt it away. He'll bring it back. It's Darisaw. He's got great speed. Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. On second down, looking again to throw. It falls incomplete and will change into the field to get things started back up.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Michigan 28, Stanford 14.
Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. So here comes the field goal unit. They've been doing work today. They've already made a couple. And if they can make this and turn it into a 3-score game, they'll have this one all but locked up. That is no good. Missed the field goal, missed the chance to make it a 3-possession game, but still a 14-point lead, guys. Stanford has it back, the Cardinal offense returning to the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it. He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's picked off for the third time today. No room to return, but no problem after making a play like that, and they'll have it at the 25. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
He's going to pass on second down. Pulls it in. It's Cook. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in the game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
And this is going to be incomplete on third down.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the fourth quarter.
Makes the catch at the 30. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line.
Take over. First and 10.
The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense.
Stanford wants to push the pace. To the ground to try to pick up the first. Smashes through. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Yeah, and this offense, listen, we're in warp speed, right? We got to score a bunch of points here. We're down. We're trailing. We got to go fast, but we also got to get first down. That's a nice job sneaking in the run, getting the first down, and now we crank the tempo back up.
Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
Just don't feel like the quarterback's in a rhythm so far. He's had accuracy issues. That last throw was underthrown, but we've seen bad decisions, trying to force the football in places it just shouldn't go, and that's why he's already thrown multiple interceptions.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again.
Here we go.
On second down, he'll let it fly. The freshman able to get home with the sack.
And the defense loves being in this type of situation, right? You've got a big lead. It's in the fourth quarter. You know the opponent's going to be throwing the football, so you get your best pass rushers coming off the edge, using that speed, dipping and ripping, getting to the quarterback for another big play.
He lost it high and deep down the left side. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
And now such a tough situation. Late in this game, you're trailing, but now it's 4th and long. Like, it's one thing if it's 4th and short. This makes it even more difficult. You got to have something dialed up you feel really great about.
On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. He's not afraid to go deep. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
And you had to. I mean, the offense had to be aggressive. You're down multiple scores. You needed to make something happen right now. You had to be aggressive. I think you had to go for it on that 4th down. Now, obviously, the game's looking like it might get out of hand.
Gets away from one. He's got space. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
And you see so many of these plays now in today's football. Wide receiver coming in motion, and the quarterback catches it, just flips it forward. That's a completed pass. You see the big plays where it just lets him get on the edge really, really quickly. And if he drops...
And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this. This coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
14.
Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Stanford has it back, the Cardinal offense returning to the field. We'll see if that failed 4th down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Fires one high and deep. Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. Not much of a chance on the return, but they'll have the ball at the 33.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. He'll pull it on the read. Got the first down and more. Brought down at the 47, but not before he ripped off 15.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea, because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very...
Oh, look out! And the tackle is made, but not before. That completion gets them 30-plus. The Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. They think they can create space here with a run to the right. Knocked down after a pickup of 6, and they're trying to impose their will in the red zone. Balls at the 13. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Quick touch pass to the receiver. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Third down coming.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On third and short, they keep it on the ground here. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be first and goal from there.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And the quarterback takes a knee. The old coaching cliche, go win or no every week. And for the first week, they get it done.
Great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out